Hey gang, well it's Stu Bear here from the Travelling Bear YouTube channel, and thanks very much for joining us on what is the first outing in the motorhome this year for 2023. It's April the 20th, and well, we'll tell you more about it further along the road, but hey, keep on watching, and thanks for joining us.
And on today's video, we take a trip over to RAF Alconbury.
So we've turned into the old RAF Alconbury, and the plan is to hopefully meet up with Jeff, and there's Jeff. I've just found him, and he's my friend, and he's going to show us how to do some drone flying. So let's see where he's going to take us. RAF Alconbury. And we'll tell you more information all about it just a little bit later. But you can see the diggers, the lorries, and they are all going to be cutting this up. Let's have a look. Driving along the old runway. Back in the days, A10s were based here, and we'll give you the full gen about lots of more history all about the place. But we're going to park up right now.
So let's take to the skies and have a good look. I'm flying over right now, and beneath us that is Magic Mountain, and more about that coming up. And here we are flying directly down what was the old runway, and we're so lucky to be able to see this because this will not be there very much longer. You can see parts of it have already been dug up, and this is going to make way for a lot of new housing. And with this photograph, you can see the chevrons that are marked on the top of this building. You wouldn't normally know that they are there, but they are, and they are going to stay there as a reminder of exactly where the old runway used to be. And right now, we take you inside what is known as Magic Mountain. It's the avionics building. It was constructed during the hottest moments of the Cold War and was completed in 1989. It was designed to protect against nuclear and biological chemical attacks, so operatives could continue to analyze data collected by the TR-1s, reconnaissance aircraft, better known as the U-2 spy plane during an enemy invasion. RAF Alconbury was the only permanent base in the UK for these extraordinary aircraft that flew literally on the edge of space. This Grade 2 listed building was one of the largest and most sophisticated buildings of its kind in the UK at the time. RAF Alconbury also has hangars exclusively designed for the TR-1s. The avionics and the two TR-1 hangars remain important monuments to the nature of the Cold War and those who served in it, and will form the centerpiece of the heritage area coming forward in Phase 3 of Alconbury Weald. And we continue our journey leaving RAF Alconbury, and we head over towards possibly one of my favourite camping sites of them all, being quite keen on aviation. And if you are, this is certainly the place to be. You are very, very close to the runway, and you can see my camper van right down here. But anyway, as we approach the campsite along this little lane, watching out for all of the potholes, you can see on this particular day beautiful blue skies, even though it was rather windy that particular day. But we pull in the actual campsite. Well, it's very basic, but that for me is its real appeal. There is a couple of toilets, there's a shower as well, but it is just the aviation enthusiast's best location. I would say possibly one of the best in Europe, if not the world. It is. Sometimes it can be very, very busy, even flying into the early hours of the night. And aircraft that are actually based there, you have the KC-135s, and if you're not really into aviation, they're like the old Boeing 707s. And also they have these wonderful tilt rotor aircraft known as the V-22 Ospreys, and they are quite something. They do a lot of night flying, and as well as those, they have the MC-130s. They do lots of night flying as well. Looking right now at an aerial shot, you can see in the top right-hand corner, that's Lakenheath, and right over on the left, that's Mildenhall. And right now, we'll hand back to Stu Bear to show us these roller tracks.
Parked up, and if we just have a look, there we go. So they're the tracks that I was talking about. So I've put the wheels on there just in case. Well, actually, the weather forecast, as I said, is not particularly good. And that stands as the best possible chance. The fact that it's not going to sink into the actual ground. And that's, of course, the last thing. What you don't want to do, you don't want to get stuck, but also you don't want to make a mess of the campsite at all. Very windy, as you can probably hear. But, there we go. So that's the idea. And a couple of things that I like to do when I'm traveling. Everything, all the sort of comments and everything that I'll make here are all obviously my own personal preference, and everybody does all these things different. But when I'm actually traveling, you notice with these Showsons, they have these glass things. Yes, beacon. And so many times I've seen on a lot of the forums, especially the Showson Facebook page, people break these, and the replacement of these is just a crazy price. I'm sure I saw somebody saying it was about £300, which yeah, I wouldn't obviously change it. But what I do while I'm traveling, I just have across there just a tea towel. Does two things: stops maybe the chance of it cracking the glass, but also, most important, it stops it rattling. So that's why I've got that there. And good idea, just in case you thought, why has he got a tea towel on there? It's going to catch fire the place. No, the hobs are cold. So quickly moving that, because it's got to be time for a cup of tea, and that's what we're going to be doing. And in case you didn't realise, for all the viewers that watch the camping side of things, which is what we're doing right now with Travelling Bear, there it is. That's one of my favourite teas. My real favourite is the coconut tea. Oh, if you've never tried the coconut tea, you haven't lived. But that's one of the actual teas, pointing right now, from the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company. And for everybody that watches my YouTube channels, you can get yourself your 15% off every single order. And that particular tea is like a breakfast tea. It's tea bags, that particular one, and it is absolutely superb. So you can get 15% off. All you have to do is, when you go to the checkout from the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company, you just use the voucher code. The voucher code is camping, CAMPING, and it is all uppercase. So put that in at the checkout and you'll get yourself that 15% off. As well as all of that, you get your reward points as well. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to have a cup of tea. So we will see you later. Thank you. Here comes the pussycat. Are you coming in, Beacon? Hello. Yes, that's the resident cat, Beacon. Hey, Beacon, say hello to everybody. No, he's more interested in exploring. Say hello, Beacon, to everybody. Say hello. You're watching Stu Bear's Travelling Bear channel. You don't want to get caught up in the microphone lead now, do you? There we go. So hey, in the video I'll be putting links, so the usual GPS coordinates, so you'll be able to find this particular place. And let's hope for well, that the weather forecast is not as bad as what they have been actually saying. But I'm going to get myself, goodness gracious, we're well stocked up in the freezer and the fridge. The actual, just to, if you want to be nosy, the motorhome, it's a Chausson Welcome 79, and throughout some of the videos that we're going to be putting out, I'll be telling you more about that particular motorhome. And so, Beacon, yes, there we go, he's following me around. He must be pretty hungry.
And before we leave you on this particular video, well, we've got to show you some of the flying, and that's coming up right now. And if you look under this video right now, you'll be able to get a lot more information, such as the grid reference and also the current price is 2023. But for the moment, thank you for watching. Don't forget, hey, all viewers of this particular channel, get yourselves the tea and coffee from the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company, and make sure you get that 15% off with that voucher code of camping uppercase. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. This is Stu Bear on Travelling Bear.